I would like to call the Cuyahoga County Finance and Budgeting Committee meeting for Tuesday, January 17, 2023, to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Tuma,
Here.
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is absent at the moment. Mr. Gallagher. Gallagher was here. He's absent at the moment. Mr. Schrein,
Here.
Mr. Kelly,
Here.
Ms. Turner. Ms. Turner is absent at the moment. There is a quorum.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Turner is expected shortly. At this time, I would like to welcome Patrick Kelly to the Finance and Budgeting Committee. It's a feather in your cap to be appointed to Finance and Budget as a new member, so congratulations on that. And I look forward to working with you, and I note that Ms. Simon is joining the meeting, and I'm going to ask if anybody has signed in for public comment.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Lou?
Good afternoon. Welcome to the committee.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lou is here again. Of course, definitely I support anything we can improve our government and make the government working for the people. So I'm not here to object the two agenda items. However, based on our end-of-year report for 2022, I would really have objection that First Energy stadiums will be later a big budget items on our in our agenda. The possibility is high there. On the other hand, even we think that our HSS levy is in good condition, but actually all the health human services has been actually lacking. Right now, cities cannot have any funds due to the state's decision. Lots of things they cannot do. So county has to pick up all the slacks. But in this case, even county jail, people die in the county jail, people die in the homeless shelters, all these are actually the result of all these mistakes done throughout the years and the wrong public policies from the state. So if we don't strengthen our health and human services levy, and also our general funds to focus on health and human services, then we would just keep pushing people into incarceration and poverty, homelessness. What would that be good to do us? People born and raised here are mostly the one really loved here. They would like to see this place prosper because their life, maybe not only this generation, maybe even their family has been here for a long time. If a state thinks that, and also make the county thinks that alluring other people from outside areas, hi, is that really good? It has not been working because what? When these people coming from outside, when they see here doesn't really offer the things they are looking for, if they have the means to move in, they have the means to move out. So you will still lose workforce. You will still lose the assets you think you might gain in taxes. You might still lose the possibility to actually make our local economy better. You want to generate jobs? Think about the current workforce. The discrimination on the current local workforce is still there. Throughout the constructions of the big projects. So should we really take these burdens on and on and on for decades to come? Or we should start focusing our own health and human services to actually build our own strength for the years to come? Please think twice, and I'm also looking forward to our budget hearing later this year, if I survive till then. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there's going to be more than thinking twice. It's going to be 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. There's just lots to think about. So thank you for your testimony. And the next item on the agenda, first I will note that Councilwoman Turner is now in attendance and for the record. And I would bring the next item to the agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from the October 31st, 2022 meeting.
Move
Do
to
we-
approve?
It's been moved.
Second.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and the minutes from October 31st, 2022 are approved. Next, under item 5, we have 2 resolutions referred to the committee. And the first is Resolution 2023-0009.
Resolution number 2023-0009, authorizing an amendment to contract number 3027 with Service Express for enterprise hardware maintenance and support services at various county locations.
Thank
Good
you very
after-
much.
Sorry. Good afternoon, Janelle Green, Department of IT. This item is, I presented this one before at the Board of Control. This is to add more funding to an already existing contract with Service Express. They provide enterprise hardware maintenance and support services for our various county locations. This is for support of hardware. This is when hardware transitions from manufacturer support, and we essentially have a third-party support. For more information, I have Jeremy Mio that is present that can speak to this.
Thank you. Jeremy Mio, Department of IT. As Janelle stated, this is an amendment of money. This is going to be a 3-year amendment. It's about $300,000 every year. This supports over 500 devices that we have between Cleveland and Columbus. We get about 40 systematic alerts to do replacements with hard drives, fans, CPU, all kinds of hardware-related issues throughout every month. So we use this contract highly. We do have, we also do quarterly payments on this, so as hardware doesn't need to be on, have this third-party support, we potentially can save money over time, so we only do quarterly payments. So hopefully through some of the ARPA funding that we've gotten through the past couple of years, some of this will seem to be go down over the next 3 years, and we will be able to decertify some dollars. So that's a quick overview of what that supports. I'm here for any questions.
Thank you very much. For the record, Councilman Gallagher is now in attendance. And my question is do we pay a flat amount, or is the amount we pay based on usage?
The amount is based on the type of device that is on record. So each one of those 500-plus devices may have a different support number for them, for a large server, small server, things like that.
And how does the cost that we will be paying for the next 3 years compare with what we're currently paying?
So we did see over an $80,000 increase from last year. And that's, again, hopefully going to normalize once we replace some of the hardware through ARPA. So we did see an increase. The additional increases per year is 5% just for estimated inflation.
Questions by my colleagues? It's my understanding that this is urgently needed and that you would request that it be passed on second reading suspension. Is that correct?
This is following the regular timeline, so there's just no urgency to it, but it does have to get processed. We're current right now.
Mr. Chairman, based on that, then I move that we approve this for, to go before the council for its second reading.
Second.
Mr. Director?
Andy Johnson, Chief Information Officer, Cuyahoga County. Councilman Miller, the urgency is on the next item. This item can follow the normal 3 readings. So my apologies if I had those two mixed up. But the one we'll hear next is the one that we have some urgency with.
Okay, Thank you very much. So we do have a motion and a second to favorably recommend Resolution 2023-0009 to the full council for second reading at the next meeting and hopefully final passage at the following meeting after that. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and it is recommended. Resolution 2023-0010.
Resolution number 2023-0010, authorizing a contract with Environmental Systems Research Institute in the amount not to exceed $1 million for subscription and technical support services for the Geospatial Data Infrastructure Program.
Good afternoon, Janelle Green, Department of IT. As you all may be well aware, Environmental Services Research Institute, or ESRI, as they're now known, serves as our IT standard for ArcGIS software. And that is something that is set forth by the Technology Advisory Committee. We are attempting to contract with them for additional program for our geospatial data infrastructure program. And this is Tom Fisher, who is the GIS administrator, to speak more about that program.
Good afternoon. Tom Fisher. I'm the GIS administrator for Cuyahoga County. So this contract is for services and software related to an establishing what's called a spatial data infrastructure. It is actually an online network connected with what we're hoping to do is connect municipalities across the county into this so that the ArcGIS department can actually assist them in updating or bringing their addressing up to current next generation 911 standards, which is actually the new technology that's coming down the line for 911. There's also additional benefits that this will provide municipalities in also creating other spatial data infrastructure related to any number of things. Zoning is an example. So we will actually be able to put this all into one system and share it with municipalities, within municipalities, between them, and also in many cases with the public. So that's a thumbnail sketch of that, what we're doing.
Thank you very much. Questions by my colleagues? I have a couple of questions. The first one is what the procurement was. Is this a service where there's multiple people who could bid on it, or is this the only company that provides the service?
So ESRI,
how does this work?
Sorry, Councilman, the ESRI is it's actually under state term contract, so it's bid by the state already. But it also is the de facto standard for GIS within government. So the county, it is the infrastructure that we currently use within the county, but also many municipalities and other counties around the state and country use this as their GIS application software. So.
Thank you. And my second question is whether the municipalities who benefit from this program are going to participate in the cost, or are we going to pay for it?
So, so for the first 3 years, Cuyahoga County is going to actually bear the cost of this. So counties across the state are actually preparing their addresses for next generation 911. Cuyahoga County is a little unique in its architecture or the way it's set up. Many counties are responsible for addressing because of the township relationship. Well, Cuyahoga County is made up mostly of municipalities. They are then the authority for addressing. What we are attempting to do is create a county-wide addressing system. Again, bringing that up to the accuracy standards of next generation 911. Then we will be partnering with the state, as will the other 88 counties within Ohio, to create or put these addresses into a system so that next generation 911 can use them to better dispatch and locate people in need for emergency services.
So you said we're going to bear the cost for the first 3 years. Is there thought of doing otherwise after the 3 years?
What we are hoping to do through this is actually, within the 3 years, identify cost sharing mechanism in which to carry it forward beyond 3 years. This is a unique situation for Cuyahoga County, but we're actually hoping that beyond just addressing, that we are also able to share other data collaboration. So that's a regional data collaboration initiative, spatial data infrastructure, that we can build these data sets that can then be used by municipalities and the public just in general. So there's, again, a lot more benefit to this that we're hoping that, GIS is one of these technologies where you actually have to have your hands in it, understand it, to see the benefits of it. I've actually met with many mayors and staff within municipalities to express those interests or those benefits to the technology, and many have accepted and are moving towards this technology. So again, I think it's a stepping stone in that direction for adoption countywide.
So why would we not ask the municipalities to participate with us right out of the gate and share in some of the cost of this?
I think there's a risk averse, I believe. I think I think that it's an unproven, not necessarily a proven technology to them at this time. And they're actually looking for the county to really, I believe, take the lead in this area. In fact, just this weekend, I was just approached by Mayor of Richmond Heights, actually, Mayor Thomas of Richmond Heights, asking me to come out and talk to her about, and her staff about GIS and the technology herein. I think it's a newer technology to a lot of them, so there's I think they're looking for leadership in this area, and that's what I think the county is stepping up to do. So,
Questions by my colleagues? I'm going to ask one more question,
sure.
which is what the funding source is. Is this general fund or
this
is
is
this real
ARPA
estate?
dollars.
What?
ARPA dollars for the $1 million.
This is ARPA dollars,
Yes.
okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, this item is the one that you requested passage under suspension if possible, so
Yes.
I would ask if my colleagues agree, and if so, if there's a motion.
So move that we bring this before for second reading approval, suspension of the rules.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to favorably recommend 2023-0010 to the full council with recommendation for passage on second reading suspension. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you very much. The ayes have it, and it is so recommended. Finally, I would like to bring to my colleagues' attention the brief 2022 year-end report and planning document that I prepared, and it has 3 parts. It's the current status, the timeline, and possible oversight issues. And regarding the county's general fund, because of federal generosity, the general fund is in very good shape with an estimated year-end balance of $335.6 million. And even if we net out ARPA and the Justice Fund, it is still $174.1 million, which exceeds the 20% reserve requirement, which is about $125 million. And Health and Human Services Levy Fund is in decent shape with a balance of $26.4 million, which is just slightly under the reserve requirement of $27 million. The largest threat to county finances over the next number of years is not on the operating side, but on the capital side, as we have major capital items, including the jail, the Justice Center, and possibly First Energy Stadium to contend with. other issues of importance I included as the effect of inflation on particularly on contracting costs, also the possibility of a recession which would depress revenues, and also that there are a number of potentially expensive litigation items that are in the pipeline. So the Finance and Budgeting Committee work follows a very predictable schedule. Around the middle of next month, we'll have the official 2022 year-end finances available, and I find that very useful in that it provides information based on actual results as opposed to projections. Around May 15th, we have the first quarter, and in late July, before we go into recess, we can have a preliminary discussion on the second quarter. In August and September is when the administration is doing the final heavy lifting on getting the biennial budget proposal to the council. And this is a biennial budget year as opposed to an update, and so on October 11th we get the biennial budget introduced, and the hearings continue for the next 6 weeks or so, with final passage projected for December 5th. And then on December 14th, we have the year-end budget amendments. So that's kind of what the calendar looks like for the year. And then I continued and listed a number of important potential oversight items for the year. I'm not going to read through all of them, but we have them in front of you. So with that, I'm going to pause and ask if my colleagues have any comments or suggestions on things that the Finance and Budgeting Committee should particularly focus on and try to do during the coming year.
I don't have any questions, but thank you for putting this together. Very comprehensive and easy to understand.
Okay, great. Okay, well, I'll just say that I look forward to working with each of you and with the administration, and I believe that when the administration and the council work together on the county's finances, the results are better, and it's been good in the past, and I expect it to continue, and look forward to hopefully a successful year in 2023, and that the county is able to identify and finance a lot of good things that are going to help people in our community to improve their lives. Any other comments? Okay, I'll ask if there is any miscellaneous business. Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks very much, everybody.